So here we are, all these years later. 5 years it's been, hasn't it? When did we start?
Yeah, it has. If I roll back all those years, why we started this all, it was sort of in the name of my father, who, there was nothing like Tapestry Day Club around at that point. It was just big community centre stuff. And he needed something a little bit more small and cosy, sort of going out for lunch with friends. Yeah. Well, you had the same, didn't you? You
yeah.
and your father.
He was just lonely, and I think he would have loved to have come to something this small.
Yeah.
And he used to go to larger settings, and I think because of his hearing wasn't great, he sort of found that a bit overwhelming. So I think for both those reasons, you know, our beloved dads would have really enjoyed it.
And I also, for my mother, it was a major contribution. She needed respite, she needed a break, in the knowledge that Dad was going somewhere quite unique. And from there we started this wonderful home from home, out for lunch with friends idea.
And that was the first time we thought, well, why don't we do the cooking and have guests to our own homes? We did do a few lunches.
We piloted here and got to know how the model works and where to make corrections or what didn't work and what did work. And then in 2021 we were full steam ahead. With our first four hosts
we managed to process together. We had 4 coming to us. We trained them up and they got really engaged quite early on, didn't they? And we had the training here, the first day training, and then they all went and did all their online training, which was great. And actually I think we were really lucky to begin with, because we could actually find guests close enough to them to start the days up. And we always try and start the day with at least 3 guests, but we only ever take up to 6.
But the hosts are our backbone, aren't they? I mean, you and I are very specific about who we take on board as a host. They are very important to us and to our families. They are the glue in the families.
Well, they're the face of the business, aren't they, really, without them? And they do all the hard work. I mean, we do hard work in the office, but they're literally running the day, preparing all the food.
And they're brilliant cooks.
Amazing cooks. And the fact that they transport most of their guests, which is, I think, something that we offer that a lot of services don't offer. And I think that's what is one of our USPs, actually. The fact that we do the transport, and we also run a day in somebody's family home, and it's small and it's cosy and it's safe and it's warm and it's lovely. And I think that's where the carers really feel, Mum's somewhere safe, I know she's going to have a great meal.
And they're very special, these hosts, aren't they? They're so important to the families.
What we've learned over the years is that there is a certain type of empathetic, a very patient, very caring kind of person.
Giving back.
And I think what's really lucky for us is that, those hosts pretty much have all had some connection with somebody who's been living with dementia. And I think that's a lot of the reason why they probably feel
all our hosts have that, don't they? They all have some connection. But our guests are phenomenal, aren't they? Ranging from former tennis coaches to a lot of engineers. We have a lot of engineers, gentlemen engineers. Even one of our guests was one of the first ladies that went to university back in the 50s. She's got a PhD, I think. So we have some amazing guests,
high functioning,
who are very wedded to their hosts, and vice versa. We've done
really well in terms of being able to support the carers. We now, went away a year ago or so. We were asked to report how many care respite hours we were delivering. And actually, if you start adding it up, we're doing 4,000 to 5,000 a quarter now.
Wow.
Of respite hours,
And that's the carer benefit.
That's the carer part of it. So actually, I always like to say there are really 2 beneficiaries of this service. One is the guest and one is their carer. And actually, the more we do it, the more I think it's the carer almost that has more of the benefit, a greater benefit in a way, because they've got that 5 to 6 hour window where they can literally just go and do what they need to do without the worry of their loved one, because they're in good hands. That's the good thing.
And they benefit from twice, sometimes 3 times a week our guests come. Because the value of our support is of immense value to the families. And it's not only the primary carers, it is the wider family as well. That will become part of.
And I think actually, I think some of those guests, because they go to different hosts, because geographically we're able to do that and juggle people around, they really benefit from going to 2 different groups. So they're mixing with, different other guests, and also they've got, the beauty of making friends with another different host.
Yeah.
And I think that has actually worked out better than we might have ever thought at the beginning. I think we just always thought, well, that host will only ever have those guests, but actually because geographically we've got now more hosts, it means that we can offer that.
And they cover each other's holidays.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is important.
Yeah.
But now we're a charity.
Oh yes.
That is an exciting
That's
thing,
really exciting.
isn't it? It just gives us greater reach, that we can get funding to be able to reach people with on more financial restrictions, and to widen our scope, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that actually now that we are of a charitable status, it gives us more credence, if you like, to go in and get larger funds.
And our trustees.
And our trustees are really helpful, aren't they?
We've got some amazing trustees.
We're lucky with those three.
Yeah.
So it's grown phenomenally since 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think it's fantastic. I'm so proud of it, and I love the fact that it's grown quite fast.
Yeah. Going back to the hosts, really are our core, our heart.
Yeah.
They are the heart of what we do.
They are.
And they become the heart of the family.